This is a great question. Can your customer value or lifetime value of your customer be negative? Welcome, my name is Rosh and I teach creative entrepreneurs how to find more customers, more clients using the combination code. And in this video, we're talking about the lifetime value of a customer. Now, I have a video on how to calculate that and I'll share that at the end of this video. But first, I really want to get into the answer. It's quite simply, yes, you can have a negative value to a customer. Some customers actually cost you money. And how do we identify them? How do we avoid this? Well, that's what we're going to talk about. The first way is pretty straightforward, and that has to do with your marketing. Sometimes it costs more money to pull in a new client or a new customer. So you need to really know the lifetime value, because maybe your product or service is at a certain price, but over time, getting that new customer in through marketing will end up being positive. However, if the customer does not continue to purchase from you, then it's a negative, and you need to be able to weigh that. Understand how much marketing should you spend per acquisition. The cost per acquisition is really important in marketing, and each type of marketing, whether it's email, it's pay-per-click advertising, search engine optimization, whatever marketing methods you use, you need to understand that value, the cost per acquisition, and then compare that to the average lifetime value of your new clients through that marketing method. Yet there are other ways that customers can certainly cost you money, such as through training. How much training or support can you offer the average customer? And if the average customer is taking up a lot of your resources to be able to use or understand your product or service, well, then you need to figure out how to make it easier for that customer to use your product or service, and maybe use inexpensive ways such as online tutorials or even additional information before the sale that will help the customer become less of a drain on your resources. So training can often be a very important and positive part of the customer experience, can add loyalty, and of course, when people know how to use something or be involved with something or even care about something really deeply, well, they're more likely to refer. But if they're frustrated, they can also cost you opportunity by not referring you or leaving negative reviews or just outright not coming back. Your time is highly valuable. And how much is it worth? How much per hour is your time worth? Now compare that to some of your clients or customers who are taking a lot of your time outside of what maybe your average customer takes. These customers very well may be taking up too much time. You may be losing money every time they email you or call you for more opportunity, because that opportunity may end up being a black hole, and you need to be able to recognize that. Because quite honestly, these are the customers and clients you probably have to fire. You have to tell them, I can't serve you anymore if you're expecting this much from me. You have to either increase your rate or let them know you have to cut down on the amount of time you have available to them. Now, this certainly is related to scope creep, and that is when a project gets bigger and bigger beyond what the customer or client is paying for. They often ask for little things, and I have a few videos on scope creep. I would highly recommend you check them out. I do have an important idea that will help you prevent these situations, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But just let's get into the idea of starting to identify the type of customer or client that does turn into a negative experience. Maybe negative emotionally, but also negative financially. You need to be able to identify these people. Now, you shouldn't stereotype. However, there are specific red flags that you may notice based on the types of questions or the types of things that they seem to expect from your product or service before you even get into the presentation. One thing creative entrepreneurs often do is offer a loss leader. In other words, something of value but at low risk. For example, a 30-day trial is very common. But you want to be able to identify the right people. You should offer this. You can't deny people this opportunity if it's for the general public. However, you can certainly aim where you're marketing such a loss leader so you're getting the right audience that will be more likely to become a customer. But if you do this wrong, you could end up with a lot of people using your resources and never becoming a customer or client. So it's important to learn how to identify the right people to make these offers or market to. Now, don't stereotype. That can lead down some bad roads. One of the most important things you can do to help prevent a negative lifetime value of a customer is to place backstops into the process of you working with that customer. In other words, give them maximums. If you're a writer, you can say, well, you may have 2 revisions at no charge, but beyond that, I have to charge you a certain amount, or a certain number of downloads, or a certain number of meetings. I'm willing to consult with you or train you up to 3 hours. There are a number of ways you can put these backstops in place, and these backstops most certainly help to avoid scope creep and keep your lifetime value of your customer in the positive. I'll see you in the next video.